If you're one of those people who is creeped out by Alfred Hitchcock's movie The Birds, you're still going to want to watch this segment because I have the pleasure of talking today to Dave Titterington of Wild Bird Habitat Store in Lincoln. We're going to talk about all the really great things about attracting birds to your landscape. Dave, if people really want to attract birds to their landscape, I'm assuming there are a lot of pretty simple things that they need to begin with. Can you elaborate on that a little bit for our viewers?
Well, primarily there's about 6 different basic bird feeders, and those feeders attract different species of birds. So you want to consider the type of bird feeders that you have. You also want to consider the type of seed that you put in those feeders. Birds come to elevated feeders primarily for the nut meats because they're high in fat, high in protein. You don't want to fill those feeders with a lot of seed that's got the small white millet in it. Birds are going to come up and pick out what they want. They don't have a lot of time to search through the seed because of predators that they're always on alert for, because of competition with other birds. So it's kind of a combination of pairing up the right type of feeder with the right type of feed to attract the largest variety of bird species you'd like to see in your backyard during the summer or winter months.
If you are attracting birds to the landscape, do you really need those edible plants? Couldn't we just go out on an acreage, stuff all those feeders every place and still get them to fly in? And if not, why not? Why wouldn't they do that?
Well, birds need a diverse diet, and bird feeders are only providing about 25 to 30% of a bird's diet. It's actually basically a supplemental food source for them. But they primarily need the natural foods that they'll find out in the woodlands and the undergrowth of the woodlands. Out in the grasslands. So there's a lot of natural foods, and you can do this by planting some of those native and natural foods in your yard. You're going to attract a lot of species, probably species that wouldn't even come to your backyard for the bird feeders. You'll pull some warblers in, maybe some cedar waxwings with some of the berries and some of the shrubs that you plant. So it's a good idea to not just have feeders, but have a good variety of other natural foods for the birds, and you'll really increase the birds coming to your habitat. Plus provide good nesting habitat for them, good cover if predators come around. So you want to kind of consider the whole picture.
If there were products that you would recommend for people, what would they be? And kind of the flip of that is, why would you not recommend those products for 2016 and beyond?
Well, when you come to feeders, we've got feeders that are really standard feeders. They've been on the market for quite a while. They've had major improvements to them. In fact, now they come with lifetime warranties. We take care of all the warranties right here at the store. They come with a lifetime warranty. They're made in the USA. They're proven to be successful, whether it's a platform feeder, seed tube feeder, Niger thistle feeder, hopper feeder, any of the basic feeders. And we have some different variations of those feeders, but we want to make sure we give our customers a really quality product, preferably made in the US. Something that's going to withstand the elements because they are outdoors, and something that we can repair if something goes wrong with it. So there are a lot of new products on the market. We kind of scrutinize those products to make sure they meet our standards before we put them up for customers to view and purchase.
We get the question a lot from people about, how in the world do I keep all that seed from germinating under my feeder? And then, of course, the voles come in and everything else. So how can they keep that from happening?
Well, there is going to be a certain amount of sanitation you're going to have to provide if you're going to feed birds in your backyard. It doesn't take a lot of time, but you can go with products such as sunflower hearts, whole sunflower seeds, or some of our no-mess feeds where you don't have a lot of debris left on the ground. You're still going to have some. You want to make sure what you're buying doesn't contain a lot of weed seeds, or one that's big that we find is canary reed grass that you don't want to get started in your yard, especially if you're around a wetland. So you want to read the labels. All seeds got to be labeled by law. Read those labels, read the ingredients in there. If it starts out assorted grain products, milo, wheat, barley, red millet, you might want to stay away from those products because the birds aren't going to eat it. It's going to germinate. So that cutting back on that, buying a good quality seed, that's really going to help minimize what grows underneath that feeder.
So on that note, I think there's really only one thing to do as we leave Wild Bird Habitat. That would be, first off, say thanks to Dave. So I guess this is 2 things. And the second, I need to refill my bird feeder. So I'm off with my bags and I'm going to get some more seed.
Well, we really appreciate you giving us this opportunity to help educate people, and we hope to get a lot of listeners and viewers watching it.